In the next few minutes, you're going to learn how to build income streams that can pay you for years, even decades. You'll discover practical strategies used by people who don't trade time for money, yet create lasting financial freedom. Every step I share is designed to be applied immediately, helping you take control of your financial future and grow wealth steadily. You'll learn how to create products that sell repeatedly, automate systems so money flows while you sleep, and turn your skills into assets that earn continuously. This isn't theory. These are real, actionable steps that anyone can follow. By following these methods consistently, you can build multiple sources of revenue that keep growing over time. Stick with me, apply these strategies, and you'll start seeing progress in both your mindset and your income. Subscribe to Audiobook every day for more insights that transform your life and build your success. Number 1. Create simple products that scale. Creating a simple product that scales begins with a quiet, disciplined decision. Trade complexity for clarity, and trade chasing trends for mastering fundamentals. Building something that sells repeatedly without constant firefighting means designing for repeatability from day one. Picture a small, clean product that fits easily into someone's life. A short course that solves a single recurring problem, a template that saves time, a focused ebook that explains one method clearly. The product itself does not need to be flashy. It needs to be useful, understandable, and easy to deliver. The goal is not to impress for a moment. The goal is to be useful for years. Start by narrowing the focus. Choose a single, specific pain point that a clear group of people experience again and again. Broad problems feel important, but are hard to solve well. A precise problem, something that makes a specific person wince when it happens, is easier to solve and easier to sell. Find that pain by observing real behavior. Read forum threads. Watch comment sections, listen to repeated questions in community groups. When multiple people ask the same question in different places, there is a real demand. Build a product that answers that one question with clarity and a simple step-by-step path. This is the foundation of a product that scales. It solves a repeated human problem in a repeatable way. Validate before building. Validation is the most efficient use of discipline. Put a clear offer in front of potential customers before spending many hours building. A simple landing page, a short survey, or a pre-sale with limited spots proves whether the idea exists in demand. Offer a clear promise, an honest price, and an obvious call to action. If people sign up or pay, the product deserves to be built. If they do not, refine the promise, or choose a different problem. This step saves time, prevents wasted effort, and trains the mind to favor evidence over hope. Design the minimum viable product with delivery in mind. The smallest version of the product that genuinely helps should be fast to create and even faster to deliver. For a digital product, this often means a lean course with a few recorded lessons, a single downloadable workbook, and a checklist. For a template or tool, create a one-file solution that users can drop into their workflow. Keep the format consistent so automation becomes straightforward. The fewer moving parts required to deliver the product, the easier it will be to scale. Reduce friction, strip down the purchase process, automate file delivery, and ensure the product can be consumed immediately after payment. Make systems for repeat delivery. Scalability is not an accident, it is a system. Automate the sales to delivery process with reliable tools. Payment processes that handle receipts, email sequences that welcome new customers and give access, and a clear FAQ for troubleshooting. Use simple integrations that connect purchasing to access without manual work. Outsource routine tasks to a virtual assistant or a scheduler when needed. The point is not to avoid work entirely, It is to move predictable work into predictable processes, so energy is reserved for improvement, not firefighting. Price for value and margin. Pricing is not only about covering time spent, it is about understanding the value delivered and creating room to invest in growth. A simple product priced too low can be a trap. It attracts small margins and high customer support costs. Price with respect for the customer's time and for the transformation offered. Create tiers if appropriate. A core affordable version that solves the main problem, and a premium version that bundles extra support or templates. This structure allows the product to serve both beginners and customers willing to pay more for shortcuts. Track margin. True scalability requires positive unit economics, meaning each sale should ideally cover operating costs and leave room for reinvestment. Build a repeatable marketing engine. Evergreen income relies on a steady inflow of new customers without constant manual outreach. Create content that answers the same questions the product solves. Blog posts, short videos, or social posts that are optimized for discovery. Use clear calls to action that point to the product page. Pair content with low-cost paid experiments to find what attracts attention consistently. A small, well-targeted advertising campaign can expose the product to new audiences, while the organic content builds trust over time. The aim is not to promote endlessly, but to create predictable customer acquisition channels that require occasional maintenance rather than daily effort. Design for easy updates. A product that scales remains relevant. Schedule periodic, light updates rather than complete overhauls. A quick revision of a lesson, an added template, or a refreshed case study maintains value and communicates care to buyers. Automate notifications to customers when updates occur so they feel supported and connected. Minor updates keep the product fresh without requiring full redevelopment. This practice builds trust and increases the likelihood of repeat purchases or referrals. Measure what matters. Track a handful of metrics that indicate health: conversion rate from visitor to buyer, customer satisfaction or refund rate, the time cost per sale, and customer acquisition cost. Review these numbers regularly and treat them like a stoic would treat feedback: unemotional, focused on improvement. Metrics reveal where to fix leaks. A low conversion rate might indicate a weak landing page. A high refund rate might indicate a mismatch between promise and delivery. Use this data to make clear decisions instead of spinning in uncertainty. Create a simple support flow. Even the simplest products face questions. Design a clear, minimal support system, a searchable FAQ, templated responses, and a single place customers can go for help. Aim to answer the most common issues in under 24 hours. Faster responses reduce churn and create the perception of care. When a question requires human attention, handle it with calm, patient language that reinforces the product's promises and points customers to resources. Excellent, predictable support is a force multiplier for scaling because it turns first-time buyers into repeat customers and advocates. Reuse and repurpose once the core exists. A single, well-made product can be the seed of many related revenue paths. Break lessons into short videos for social platforms. Turn checklists into downloadable cheat sheets. Package templates differently for new audiences. Each repurposed asset is leverage. The initial effort multiplies into multiple formats that meet different preferences. The work required for repurposing is small compared to building from scratch because the core knowledge already exists. Prioritize repurposing that keeps the product simple and accessible rather than sprawling into complexity. Protect the product's simplicity as it grows. Growth can tempt feature bloat. Resist the urge to add bells that confuse the core promise. Each addition must pass a simple test Does this change make the product easier to use or make the outcome clearer? If not, it is likely noise. Keep the product's user experience clean, onboarding frictionless, and the core outcome unmistakable. Simplicity breeds longevity. People returning to buy or recommend a product often do so because it worked and was easy to use. Practice a disciplined reinvestment strategy. When sales begin to be steady, reinvest a portion into the engine that created them. More content, better automation, small paid experiments, or a part-time assistant. Avoid the temptation to spray funds into unrelated luxuries. Reinvesting with restraint compounds growth and improves the product experience, which in turn increases lifetime customer value. Treat reinvestment as a deliberate habit, a monthly allocation that fuels sustainable scaling rather than sporadic splurges. Concrete, immediate steps to take today. Pick one recurring problem from a community where the target audience gathers. Write a clear one-sentence promise that states the outcome and the time estimate for achieving it. Create a short landing page with that promise and an email capture. Run a small pre-sale or collect interest with a payment option. Build the minimal deliverable that achieves the promised outcome. Automate delivery and support with simple tools. And publish one piece of content that solves part of the problem and points to the product. Each of these steps is small, measurable, and designed to produce rapid feedback. Repeat the cycle with discipline. The posture that sustains this work is patient and relentless. Expect a steady rhythm rather than overnight success. Build with the conviction that a small product, made with clarity and delivered consistently, can produce income for years. Focus on what is under control. The product's usefulness, the quality of delivery, the clarity of the promise, and the discipline of follow-through. Over time, these disciplined choices compound into a stream that flows without constant attention. The sound of a sale notification at 2 a.m., quiet and dependable, becomes a reminder that work built on simple utility endures. This is the quiet power of a product that scales. It honors the user, it respects the creator's time, and it rewards patience with lasting return. Number 2. Automate tasks for passive earnings. Automation is the cornerstone of building passive earnings, the quiet engine that turns effort into results while life continues around you. True freedom comes not from working harder, but from designing systems that handle repetitive tasks efficiently and reliably. This begins with understanding the landscape of your current workflow. Every process you perform repeatedly, sending emails, delivering content, managing payments, updating spreadsheets, is a candidate for automation. The first step is not to buy the most expensive tool or learn a complex platform. It is to map what you are doing manually and isolate what actually produces value. Many activities are habitual, but non-essential. Distinguish the tasks that generate results from the ones that merely consume time. Focus on automating the former and eliminate the latter. Begin by documenting every recurring process. Write down every step clearly, as though explaining it to someone unfamiliar with your work. Clarity in mapping allows you to spot inefficiencies and redundancies. A small but critical insight emerges here. If a process is too messy to automate, it is too messy to scale. Refine the workflow first. Simplify, reduce unnecessary steps, and standardize actions so that a machine or automated system can execute them with minimal supervision. This refinement process alone improves efficiency even before any technology is applied. Next, choose automation tools aligned with your goals. Modern platforms are designed to perform specific, repeatable actions without human intervention. Payment processors can handle recurring billing. Content management systems can schedule and publish posts automatically, and email platforms can deliver tailored sequences to subscribers over time. Integration is key. connecting tools so that an action in one triggers the next step in another reduces manual oversight. A single sale can trigger invoicing, product delivery, and follow-up emails without human intervention, freeing hours each week. When selecting tools, prioritize reliability and simplicity. A tool that constantly requires troubleshooting is not passive. It becomes another source of labor. Automation is most effective when paired with clear rules and triggers. The system should know exactly when to act. For example, when a customer completes a purchase, a template email should send immediately, files should be delivered automatically, and follow-up messages should be scheduled for specific intervals. This eliminates delays, human error, and inconsistencies, creating a seamless experience for the customer. The reliability of these automated responses builds trust and encourages repeat engagement, turning a single sale into multiple opportunities for income without additional effort. Invest time in testing before full deployment. Automation is only valuable if it works correctly. Small errors multiplied across hundreds or thousands of instances can be costly, both financially and in reputation. Run trial runs, monitor outcomes, and adjust triggers or sequences as needed. The goal is not to perfect everything instantly, but to ensure a smooth, predictable operation. Once tested, the system will function in the background, producing consistent results that compound over time. While automation reduces active labor, it also creates opportunities for intelligent monitoring. Regularly review performance metrics, how many automated emails are opened, which workflows convert, which sequences generate the most engagement. This feedback allows you to refine systems without returning to manual labor. Automation does not eliminate the need for oversight entirely. It shifts the effort from repetitive execution to strategic improvement. The person who automates effectively is constantly observing and improving, ensuring that the machine continues to produce increasingly better results. A critical aspect of automation is the delegation of decision-making where possible. Certain tasks can be pre-programmed with conditional rules. For instance, a customer inquiry containing specific keywords can trigger different automated responses or escalate only when necessary. This reduces the cognitive load on the human operator and ensures rapid, consistent responses. As systems grow more sophisticated, incorporating such conditional logic transforms basic automation into a self-sustaining network of productive activity, handling more complex scenarios without human interference. Automation also extends to the management of information. Organize digital assets so that they are easily accessible and linked to automated workflows. File storage, customer databases, and analytics should integrate seamlessly with your operational systems. When each piece of information automatically flows to where it is needed, you reduce bottlenecks and prevent delays. Over time, this organized infrastructure serves as a foundation upon which additional income streams can be built, each benefiting from the efficiency of the existing automated processes. Passive earnings through automation require a mindset shift. The temptation to check every detail personally, to intervene at every opportunity, must be resisted. Confidence in your systems grows as you observe them operate reliably. Trust in the design and structure you have implemented is as important as the technical setup itself. Mindful monitoring, rather than constant intervention, ensures that you are always aware of performance without being consumed by the minutiae. The work moves from hands-on effort to oversight, analysis, and improvement, a far higher leverage position. Begin small, automate incrementally, and scale gradually. Attempting to automate an entire business in one step can create unnecessary complexity and errors. Instead, identify the highest impact tasks first. Automate one process completely, measure its effect, then move to the next. Each small success compounds, creating a chain of reliable passive systems that collectively produce substantial results. This incremental approach allows for refinement, adaptation, and confidence building, ensuring that the automation is sustainable over time. Another practical strategy is to document your automated systems thoroughly. Write clear guides, create checklists, and store workflows in an accessible location. This ensures continuity if you ever delegate oversight to someone else, or if you return to a system after months of non-interaction. Automation is not only about reducing effort today, it is about creating sustainable processes that continue to deliver results reliably in the long term. Proper documentation preserves knowledge and ensures that systems remain functional and adaptable over years, rather than deteriorating due to neglect or forgetfulness. Consider automation as a multiplier for existing efforts, rather than a replacement for strategy. Systems cannot create meaningful results without a strong foundation. Products, services, or content must have intrinsic value before automation can scale them effectively. Automation amplifies quality and consistency. It cannot substitute for poor design, inadequate content, or unaddressed customer needs. The combination of high-value offerings and precise automation is what produces sustainable, passive income. The emotional impact of seeing a well-designed system operate without intervention cannot be overstated. Notifications of sales, registrations, or completed tasks arriving automatically create a sense of accomplishment without the corresponding exhaustion. This reinforces discipline and encourages further improvement. Confidence builds not from constant activity but from the visible evidence that deliberate, intelligent design produces reliable outcomes. Each automated result becomes a proof point. Systems can work as hard as a human persistently without distraction or fatigue. Concrete steps to begin today include mapping recurring tasks, identifying which of these generate the highest value, researching tools that can automate them, and creating small testable workflows. Implement, observe, and adjust, always ensuring simplicity and reliability are prioritized. Over time, expand automation to cover more areas, integrating conditional logic, data management, and customer interaction. Each step compounds the previous, moving you closer to a self-sustaining infrastructure that generates income with minimal active effort. The path to meaningful passive earnings is built not on luck, but on disciplined design, thoughtful execution, and incremental improvement. Automation frees time, reduces error, and creates scalable results, but only when approached with clarity, patience, and precision. Every small, correctly automated process is a seed. Over time, these seeds grow into a forest of systems that produce consistent, reliable income. The work is not about avoiding effort entirely, it is about applying effort once in a deliberate, strategic way that continues to yield results over and over, reliably for years. This disciplined approach transforms labor into leverage, producing freedom, stability, and the quiet satisfaction that comes from designing systems that work for you while you focus on higher-level decisions and growth. Number 3. Turn skills into digital assets. Turning your skills into digital assets is one of the most powerful ways to create lasting value and generate income that continues long after the initial effort. Every skill you've cultivated, whether professional, creative, or personal, can be transformed into a product, a resource, or a tool that others can use repeatedly. The first step is recognizing that your knowledge has intrinsic value. Skills you may take for granted, writing, designing, coding, teaching, organizing, or even problem-solving, can be systematized and shared in ways that benefit others and generate revenue. The transition from skill to digital asset requires discipline, structure, and a clear focus on utility. The goal is not to showcase brilliance for its own sake, but to package knowledge into a consumable, repeatable form that delivers results for someone else. Begin by inventorying your skills with a practical lens. List everything you know how to do with competence and confidence. For each skill, ask, who benefits from this knowledge? What problem does it solve? And in what format can it be delivered digitally? The answers will reveal opportunities that are often hidden in plain sight. For instance, if you can write compelling emails, that skill can become templates or a course for entrepreneurs. If you can design simple graphics, those skills can become downloadable packs. The clarity of mapping skills to needs is crucial, because not every skill translates equally well into digital value. The ones that solve repeated, pressing problems are the most lucrative. Next, focus on modularization. A skill can be complex and multifaceted, but the digital asset should be distilled into a specific, actionable component. Break the skill into small, teachable units that can be delivered individually or as a cohesive package. This creates flexibility and accessibility for the audience. People are more likely to engage with a solution that addresses one problem at a time rather than overwhelming them with everything at once. A modular approach also allows for incremental creation, meaning assets can be launched quickly and improved over time without waiting for a massive, finished product. Select the format that maximizes usability and repeatability. Skills can be converted into a variety of digital forms: video courses, ebooks, templates, worksheets, software tools, audio guides, or even curated collections of resources. The choice of format should consider the audience's preferences, ease of consumption, and scalability. For example, a designer might create a library of editable templates rather than a live tutorial. A marketer could transform experience into a series of automated email templates. The format is the vessel through which your knowledge becomes a tangible asset, so it should align with both the nature of the skill and the way users prefer to engage. Documenting and structuring knowledge is the next critical step. A digital asset must communicate clearly and efficiently. Organize content logically, breaking it into sequential steps or categories that guide users from problem to solution. Include examples, templates, and actionable exercises. Avoid abstract theories without application. The clearer the guidance, the more valuable the asset becomes. A user should feel equipped to take immediate action, and their success reinforces the perceived value of your digital product, increasing the likelihood of recommendations and repeat engagement. Packaging skills as digital assets also requires attention to scalability. The product should be self-contained and consumable independently of your direct involvement. For example, a video course should be pre-recorded, a software tool should function without constant updates, and templates should be ready to use. The objective is that the asset delivers consistent value to each customer without demanding ongoing repetitive labor. This principle ensures that your skill continues to generate income long after the initial creation, transforming ephemeral effort into enduring results. Monetization strategies are closely tied to how effectively the skill addresses a tangible need. Pricing should reflect the value delivered and the cost savings or efficiency gained by the user. Consider tiered models, a basic package that provides core instruction and a premium version that offers advanced templates, personalized guidance, or additional resources. A digital asset can also be licensed to other businesses, bundled with complementary tools, or integrated into membership platforms for recurring revenue. Flexibility in monetization allows the same skill to generate multiple income streams, each benefiting from the initial investment in creation. Promotion is another critical dimension. Creating an asset alone does not guarantee revenue. Position the product in places where your audience already seeks solutions. Social media Online communities, content platforms, and search engines demonstrate its value through examples, previews, and testimonials. The key is to communicate clearly how the asset solves a specific problem better or faster than alternatives. Educational content, case studies, and demonstration videos can showcase practical benefits, building trust and credibility while driving engagement. Over time, a small, consistent promotional effort compounds, generating sustainable sales without requiring constant attention. Automation complements this process, allowing the skill to generate income repeatedly with minimal ongoing intervention. Once the digital asset is created, systems can handle sales, delivery, and customer communication. Email sequences, online platforms, and integrated payment solutions ensure that the product reaches customers reliably and efficiently. Automation transforms a one-time creation into a continuous revenue stream, reinforcing the principle that skill, when structured and systematized correctly, has a life beyond the hours invested in developing it. Consistency in updating and refining assets maintains relevance. Industries, technologies, and best practices evolve. A digital asset must adapt to remain valuable. Periodic review ensures that content stays accurate, templates function correctly, and examples reflect current realities. Updating an asset incrementally preserves the original investment while increasing trust with the audience. A user who sees that the product evolves demonstrates your ongoing commitment to quality and encourages loyalty, repeat purchases, and referrals. The process of turning skills into digital assets also cultivates discipline and self-mastery. It requires intentional reflection on what knowledge matters most, careful organization, and the patience to produce something that others can use independently. This exercise encourages efficiency, clarity, and focus, qualities that enhance every aspect of professional and personal life. Moreover, it instills a long-term perspective. Instead of trading hours for dollars, skills are transformed into capital that works over time, creating leverage and financial resilience. Immediate, actionable steps include listing all marketable skills, identifying a target audience for each, selecting the format that best delivers value, structuring content into digestible, actionable modules, creating the asset and deploying it on a platform with integrated payment and delivery systems. Test the asset with a small group of users to gather feedback, refine based on their experience, and scale gradually. Consistent documentation, attention to quality, and periodic updates ensure that the asset continues to deliver results and income over time. Embracing the mindset that skills are assets changes the way work is approached. Every hour spent improving, learning, or practicing becomes an investment in something tangible that can produce future returns. By systematically capturing knowledge, packaging it effectively, and distributing it through digital channels, it becomes possible to build a portfolio of assets that collectively generate sustainable, ongoing income. The key is structure, clarity, and the willingness to see skills not just as capabilities, but as products with measurable value. Ultimately, turning skills into digital assets is not only a strategy for income, but also a practice of empowerment. It allows the cultivation of independence, resilience, and freedom, while sharing knowledge that genuinely helps others. Each skill packaged into a digital format extends influence and utility far beyond the immediate context, creating a legacy of usefulness and value. This disciplined approach transforms personal expertise into a sustainable foundation capable of producing results indefinitely, rewarding both effort and foresight, and reinforcing the principle that well-applied knowledge can continue to serve and generate wealth long after its initial deployment. Number 4. Build systems that run independently. Building systems that run independently is the foundation of creating lasting efficiency and freedom. A A system is a carefully arranged set of processes, tools, and rules that can operate without constant human intervention. The power of an independent system lies in its ability to execute tasks reliably, day after day, generating results even when attention is focused elsewhere. The first step is recognizing that every repeated activity in life or business is an opportunity to develop a system. Whether it's customer engagement, content delivery, sales tracking, or inventory management, repeated tasks indicate predictable patterns that can be optimized, automated, and structured into a self-sustaining workflow. Begin by observing and recording the workflows that already exist. Break each activity into discrete steps and identify which actions are repetitive and which are unique. Independent systems thrive on predictability, so consistency in execution is essential. Unnecessary variations or improvisation weaken the system's reliability. Once you understand the full process, you can standardize it. Standardization is not about rigidity, it's about creating a predictable sequence of actions that can be replicated by software, assistants, or even templates. By reducing complexity, you make the system more robust and easier to scale. Next, define the inputs and outputs of the system clearly. A system is a machine that takes resources or information as input and produces an outcome as output. For example, an email marketing system takes subscriber information, schedules messages, and delivers content to generate engagement and conversions. Each element must have a defined role. Without clarity in inputs and expected outcomes, a system cannot operate independently. Establish metrics for success and checkpoints for quality control. This ensures that even without direct oversight, the system continues to function effectively, producing predictable and measurable results. Automation is a critical component in creating independence. Tasks that are repetitive, time-consuming, or prone to human error are ideal candidates for automation. By integrating software tools that manage scheduling, notifications, deliveries, or payments, you reduce the need for constant monitoring. Automation allows systems to function continuously, day and night, producing outcomes without fatigue or distraction. Each automated process should be carefully tested to ensure it behaves as expected in various scenarios. Once tested, it becomes a reliable engine of productivity that requires minimal human intervention. Delegation complements automation in building systems that run independently. Certain tasks require judgment or human insight that cannot be fully automated. Identify these areas and create clear protocols for delegation. Document responsibilities, provide templates or scripts, and establish timelines for completion. With proper structure, delegated tasks can be executed reliably, aligning with the overall system. The combination of automation and structured delegation allows the system to operate almost autonomously, with the human role shifting to oversight and improvement rather than constant execution. A key principle is designing for resilience. Independent systems must be able to handle variability and unexpected challenges without collapsing. Anticipate potential points of failure and implement safeguards. For example, backup processes, alternative workflows, and contingency plans ensure that the system continues to produce results even when disruptions occur. Resilience also comes from monitoring outcomes and incorporating feedback loops. Regularly review system performance and make adjustments where necessary, allowing it to adapt to changing conditions while maintaining independence. Efficiency is achieved through simplification. A complex system is fragile and difficult to maintain. Strive to eliminate unnecessary steps and streamline processes. Each component should have a clear purpose and contribute directly to the system's goal. Simplification reduces the risk of errors, makes troubleshooting easier, and accelerates execution. When every part is essential and optimized, the system achieves maximum output with minimal input, embodying the principle that less friction leads to greater sustainability. Documentation is essential for systems that operate independently. A well-documented system can be understood, maintained, and scaled by others without requiring direct involvement from the creator. Create clear instructions, checklists, diagrams, and guidelines for each process. Document not just the what, but the why, so that decisions can be made consistently, even when unforeseen circumstances arise. Proper documentation transforms a personal workflow into a durable infrastructure that continues to function effectively regardless of personnel changes or interruptions. Building independent systems also requires discipline in monitoring. Systems are not infallible. They need periodic evaluation to ensure they continue to produce intended outcomes. Establish a schedule for reviewing metrics, checking outputs, and adjusting processes as needed. This oversight is strategic, not reactive. The goal is to preserve autonomy while ensuring alignment with goals. Over time, small, consistent checks maintain the integrity of the system, allowing it to grow in scope and capability without compromising reliability. Scalability is another crucial consideration. Independent systems should be designed to handle increased volume without proportional increases in labor. When demand grows, the system should accommodate it with minimal additional effort. This may involve upgrading software, refining processes, or adding parallel workflows. A scalable system converts growth into leverage, allowing results to multiply without requiring continuous input. This principle separates fleeting productivity from sustainable success. Integration enhances the effectiveness of independent systems. Systems rarely exist in isolation. Linking complementary workflows creates a network of autonomous processes that reinforce one another. For instance, a lead generation system can feed into an email marketing system, which then triggers content delivery and sales follow-ups. Integration ensures smooth information flow, reduces manual intervention, and increases overall efficiency. When systems communicate seamlessly, the collective output exceeds the sum of individual efforts, creating a self-reinforcing structure that can operate largely independently. Flexibility is essential for long-term sustainability. While the goal is independence, systems must also accommodate changes in market conditions, user behavior, or internal objectives. Design with modularity in mind. Processes should be adjustable, and components should be replaceable without disrupting the entire system. Flexible systems adapt without losing autonomy, ensuring longevity and continued relevance. Immediate steps for building independent systems include identifying repeated tasks, mapping processes, defining inputs and outputs, selecting automation tools, establishing delegation protocols, documenting workflows, integrating feedback loops, and testing for resilience. Start with one high-impact area and gradually expand to other parts of your business or personal operations. Each system implemented becomes a foundation for additional layers of automation and delegation, creating a network of reliable processes that function independently, compounding results over time. The mindset required to build systems that run independently is patient, disciplined, and strategic. It emphasizes disciplined and strategic. It emphasizes designing for long-term functionality rather than short-term convenience. The focus is on creating structures that work consistently and reliably, reducing dependence on constant human effort. Confidence grows from observing systems operate smoothly, freeing energy to focus on higher-level priorities, innovation, and personal growth. Every task moved from reactive labor to structured, autonomous process increases capacity, stability, and potential for meaningful progress. The ultimate benefit of independent systems is the freedom they provide. With predictable, reliable workflows, you gain control over time, attention, and energy. The effort invested in creating these systems is amplified indefinitely, generating outcomes without continuous intervention. Over time, systems become self-sustaining engines, producing value, income, or results, while you focus on expanding, improving, and exploring new opportunities. The disciplined creation of such systems transforms work from a series of reactive tasks into a scalable, autonomous framework, delivering both freedom and lasting impact. Number 5. Invest profits into compounding opportunities. Investing profits into compounding opportunities is one of the most powerful strategies for long-term wealth and financial resilience. The essence of compounding is that money, knowledge, or effort, when reinvested wisely, grows exponentially over time, producing results far beyond what a single input could achieve. The first step is a shift in mindset. Every profit, no matter how small, is a tool that can work for you rather than being consumed immediately. Treat profits as seeds rather than rewards, because planting them consistently leads to a harvest that multiplies in ways that immediate spending never can. This perspective requires discipline, patience, and a clear vision of the long-term goal. Begin by evaluating the sources of your profits and identifying the portion that can be reinvested. Not all gains should be reinvested immediately. Reserve a portion for stability, personal needs, and emergencies. The remainder becomes the fuel for compounding. The discipline of allocating profits consistently is more important than the exact allocation. Small, regular contributions into compounding opportunities, repeated over months and years, create momentum that accelerates growth. This steady approach minimizes risk while maximizing the power of time. Identify opportunities that naturally compound over time. These may include financial instruments like dividend-paying stocks, index funds, or bonds, where returns generate additional returns. They may also include business reinvestments, such as upgrading systems, expanding product lines, or marketing to new audiences, where profits fuel additional revenue streams. Education and skill development are another form of compounding. Knowledge applied consistently increases earning potential and opens doors to more lucrative opportunities. The principle is simple: invest in avenues where your initial contribution not only produces immediate returns, but also builds capacity to produce even more in the future. Prioritize investments that offer both sustainability and predictability. Compounding works best when gains are reinvested reliably over time. High-risk, volatile ventures may offer large, short-term rewards, but can disrupt the process if losses occur. Focus on opportunities where growth is consistent, even if moderate, because steady accumulation over years often exceeds sporadic windfalls. This requires patience, restraint, and the ability to ignore short-term temptations in favor of enduring results. Tracking performance is essential. Treat each reinvestment as an experiment that needs monitoring. Understand what generates consistent returns and what underperforms. Adjust allocations based on performance, but avoid overreacting to temporary fluctuations. The key is to make informed, disciplined decisions rather than emotional ones. Each cycle of reinvestment should be deliberate. Evaluate outcomes, learn from mistakes, and allocate future profits strategically. Over time, this practice creates a feedback loop where compounding is optimized, steadily increasing both capital and capacity for further investments. Reinvestment decisions should leverage the power of multiplicative growth rather than merely additive growth. Reinvesting a portion of profits into a new product, a marketing campaign, or a system that produces recurring returns accelerates growth, because the outcome of the reinvestment itself contributes to future capacity. For example, Improving a digital asset to increase sales not only adds immediate revenue, but also creates a larger base for future returns. Similarly, allocating dividends from an investment into additional shares increases exposure to compounding, producing growth that snowballs over time. Time is the greatest ally in compounding. The earlier profits are reinvested, the longer they have to grow. Delaying reinvestment diminishes the exponential effect, because growth is measured not just by the amount invested, but also by the duration over which gains accumulate. This principle highlights the importance of acting consistently and without hesitation. Even modest amounts, reinvested early and regularly, can generate substantial outcomes in the long term, surpassing larger amounts invested later with less time for growth. Diversification enhances compounding potential while mitigating risk. Spreading profits across multiple compounding opportunities ensures that one setback does not derail the entire growth trajectory. For instance, some profits might go into financial instruments, others into business reinvestment, and others into personal skill development. Each avenue contributes differently to growth, creating a balanced, resilient portfolio. Diversification does not dilute the effect of compounding. It protects it by ensuring steady progress even when individual components fluctuate. Leverage existing systems to maximize the impact of reinvested profits. Automated systems, recurring revenue streams, or efficient business operations allow reinvestments to amplify without requiring additional labor. For example, directing profits into tools that automate processes increases productivity without adding manual work, producing exponential returns over time. Compounding is most effective when it occurs in conjunction with systems that multiply the effectiveness of each investment, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of growth. A critical aspect of compounding is maintaining discipline during periods of success. The temptation to consume profits immediately can undermine future gains. Treating earnings as instruments for growth, rather than instant rewards, requires self-control and foresight. Each dollar reinvested builds capacity for larger future returns. This habit, repeated consistently, develops both wealth and the mindset necessary to sustain long-term success. Patience and restraint are not limitations. They are the mechanisms through which compounding manifests fully. Education and continuous learning serve as compounding tools for skill and knowledge. Investing in courses, mentorship, or hands-on experiences increases capability, which in turn produces higher returns on future opportunities. Skills enhanced through deliberate practice allow for more effective application of capital and strategic thinking. Knowledge compounds just as money does, because each increment of learning increases the potential impact of the next action. Investing in oneself multiplies future earning potential in ways that financial reinvestments alone cannot achieve. Practical steps include tracking profits, deciding a reinvestment allocation, researching reliable compounding opportunities, implementing reinvestment cycles, and monitoring results. Begin small if necessary, but maintain consistency. Automate reinvestments where possible to remove friction, for instance by setting up automatic contributions to financial instruments or scheduled reinvestment in business growth activities. Regular evaluation ensures that the compounding process remains aligned with goals and adapts to changing circumstances, further strengthening the effect over time. The psychological benefit of reinvesting profits compounds alongside the financial effect. Witnessing growth fueled by one's own disciplined decisions reinforces confidence, patience, and strategic thinking. Each reinvestment cycle teaches delayed gratification and strengthens resilience against impulses that could undermine long-term objectives. This mindset becomes a habit, embedding a growth-oriented approach into every decision, which multiplies results across both financial and personal domains. Ultimately, investing profits into compounding opportunities transforms the nature of wealth accumulation. Effort is leveraged into lasting growth, and the cycle of reinvestment multiplies impact exponentially. Each decision builds upon the previous one, creating momentum that becomes increasingly difficult to stop. The combination of discipline, patience, strategic allocation, and continuous evaluation ensures that profits are not consumed and lost, but deployed as active agents for growth. Over years, this approach generates results far greater than isolated efforts, producing financial stability, freedom, and the capacity to pursue even larger opportunities. The consistent, intelligent reinvestment of profits turns income into a powerful, self-sustaining engine, allowing gains to snowball in a way that transforms not only finances, but mindset, creating a life built on exponential growth rather than fleeting effort. Number 6. Use content to attract buyers. Using content to attract buyers is a strategy rooted in providing value first and building trust over time. Content is no longer just a way to communicate. It has become a mechanism to create interest, demonstrate expertise, and convert attention into tangible results. The process begins with understanding the audience. Every piece of content should serve a specific purpose, to address a problem, answer a question, or offer guidance. When content directly aligns with the needs and desires of potential buyers, it becomes magnetic, drawing them naturally toward the solutions you provide. The first step is clarity about who your audience is, what challenges they face, and how your product or service uniquely meets those needs. Start by creating content that educates and informs. People are more likely to engage with material that teaches them something useful or offers insight they cannot easily find elsewhere. Educational content can take many forms: blog posts, video tutorials, podcasts, infographics, social media updates, or guides. Each format serves a purpose and can be matched to the audience's preferred method of consumption. The key is consistency and clarity. Regular, high-quality content builds credibility over time and establishes authority in the chosen niche. Buyers are drawn to those they perceive as knowledgeable and trustworthy. Storytelling enhances content's ability to attract buyers. Sharing experiences, case studies, and examples of how solutions work in real life creates a connection that goes beyond abstract promises. When readers or viewers see tangible outcomes or relatable situations, they are more inclined to consider the solutions being offered. Authenticity matters. Content that reflects genuine experience, insight, or expertise resonates more deeply than overly polished or exaggerated messages. Buyers respond to truth, consistency, and relevance, which strengthens the bond between content and audience. Each piece of content should have a purpose beyond simply informing. Include clear pathways that guide the audience toward engagement with your product or service. This may involve offering free resources that showcase value, linking to detailed guides, or creating calls to action that encourage interaction, such as signing up for an email list, downloading a template, or exploring a product demo. Effective content creates a journey where the audience progresses from awareness to interest and ultimately to a purchasing decision. Strategic content is therefore both informative and functional, designed to attract attention while nurturing potential buyers toward meaningful action. Leverage search and discoverability to maximize the reach of content. People often find solutions through search engines, social media, or recommendations. Optimizing content for these channels ensures that it reaches individuals actively seeking answers. Understanding keywords, trends, and the type of questions your audience asks allows content to appear where it matters most. Discoverability increases the likelihood that the right buyers encounter your materials, turning content into a consistent lead generation mechanism. High visibility is crucial, but the focus remains on providing real, actionable value rather than merely chasing metrics. Consistency is essential for building momentum. Occasional content efforts rarely produce lasting results. A systematic approach, whether posting daily, weekly, or monthly, creates expectations and keeps your audience engaged over time. Repetition also reinforces authority. As buyers encounter valuable content repeatedly, trust deepens and familiarity grows. This trust is a crucial precursor to any purchasing decision, as people are far more likely to invest in products or services from sources they recognize and respect. A disciplined approach to content ensures that influence and attraction compound naturally over time. Repurposing content enhances efficiency while reaching multiple audiences. A single concept can be adapted across videos, articles, social media posts, newsletters, and downloadable resources. Each adaptation reinforces the message and captures attention in different formats and channels. This multiplies the impact of the original effort without requiring constant creation of entirely new material. Buyers benefit from repeated exposure to core concepts presented in ways that suit their preferences, increasing engagement and trust simultaneously. Repurposing content allows maximum leverage of effort while maintaining relevance across platforms. Engagement is a critical aspect of content-driven attraction. Content should not be passive, but designed to spark conversation, feedback, or interaction. Ask questions, encourage comments, or invite participation through challenges or interactive elements. Engagement strengthens relationships, gives insight into audience needs, and increases the likelihood of conversion. Listening to audience responses and adapting content accordingly demonstrates responsiveness and care, which builds loyalty. Buyers are drawn to entities that appear attentive, responsive, and genuinely invested in providing solutions that meet real needs. Story-driven proof amplifies content effectiveness. Sharing success stories, testimonials, and real-world results validates the claims made in your content. Buyers are naturally skeptical of promises without evidence, and content that demonstrates outcomes alleviates doubt. Highlighting measurable results, before and after scenarios, or experiences of previous clients enhances credibility. By integrating social proof directly into informative material, content not only educates, but also reassures potential buyers that the solutions offered produce tangible benefits. Proof is the bridge between value and action, turning interest into investment. Finally, measure and optimize continuously. Track which types of content attract attention, generate inquiries, or lead to sales. Analytics provide insight into audience preferences and behavior, allowing refinement of strategies over time. Content is most effective when it evolves based on feedback and measurable outcomes. Testing different formats, topics, and delivery methods identifies the approaches that yield the highest engagement and conversion rates. This iterative process ensures that content remains relevant, impactful, and a reliable mechanism for attracting buyers consistently over time. Using content to attract buyers is not a quick-fix tactic, but a long-term investment in trust, authority, and influence. By producing valuable, consistent, and strategically designed material, it is possible to create a steady flow of interested individuals who are naturally drawn to the solutions you offer. Each piece of content, thoughtfully crafted, extends your reach, nurtures relationships, and reinforces credibility. Over time, content becomes an engine for growth, building awareness, fostering loyalty, and converting attention into tangible results. The effort put into creating meaningful content compounds, producing sustainable outcomes and continuously attracting buyers in a manner that requires less active intervention while providing exponential returns on the initial investment. Number 7. Develop memberships with recurring revenue. Developing memberships with recurring revenue transforms income from one-time transactions into a stable, predictable stream. The key principle is offering ongoing value that members are willing to pay for month after month, creating a relationship rather than a simple sale. Recurring revenue provides both financial stability and the opportunity to focus on growth, instead of constantly chasing new customers. The process begins with identifying what your audience truly values and what problems they face that require continuous support, education, or resources. Memberships succeed when they provide consistent, meaningful benefits that cannot easily be replaced or ignored. Begin by defining the core offering of the membership. This could be access to exclusive content, premium tools, personalized guidance, community support, or a combination of these. The focus should be on creating a tangible, ongoing advantage for members. The more specific and practical the value, the more likely people will commit to regular payments. Avoid vague promises or superficial benefits. Each feature should solve a real problem, enhance skills, or provide convenience that members find indispensable. Clarity in what the membership delivers is critical for initial sign-ups and long-term retention. Next, structure the membership so that engagement is continuous. A membership is more than a static product. It is a dynamic relationship that evolves over time. Regular updates, new resources, and fresh interactions keep members invested. Without consistent engagement, subscriptions can lapse, and recurring revenue diminishes. A successful membership offers a rhythm that members can anticipate, whether through weekly tutorials, monthly resource drops, live sessions, or interactive discussions. This predictable cadence reinforces the perception of value, making members feel that they are receiving more than they are paying for. Community plays a powerful role in memberships. People are naturally drawn to networks of like-minded individuals, where knowledge, support, and accountability are exchanged. Incorporating forums, discussion groups, or member-only events strengthens the connection to the membership and increases the perceived value. Community interaction creates social proof, encourages retention, and fosters collaboration. Members who feel part of a group are more likely to remain engaged and advocate for the membership, turning it into a self-sustaining system where growth is driven both by value and by word-of-mouth recommendations. Technology and systems are essential for managing recurring revenue effectively. Automated billing, member portals, and content delivery systems reduce friction and allow the membership to operate efficiently. Automation ensures that payments are collected reliably, access is granted immediately, and content is delivered seamlessly. When systems handle administrative tasks, focus can shift to creating more value, refining offerings, and enhancing the overall member experience. A well-structured technological backbone supports scalability, enabling the membership to grow without overwhelming the creator or team. Retention is the critical driver of long-term revenue. Attracting new members is important, but sustaining their participation is what produces consistent income. To achieve this, focus on delivering measurable benefits that members recognize and appreciate. Solicit feedback to understand evolving needs, address concerns promptly, and adjust offerings accordingly. When members perceive ongoing value, they are more likely to renew automatically and engage actively, reducing churn and stabilizing the revenue stream. Retention strategies are as important as acquisition strategies in building a sustainable membership model. Memberships thrive when they combine exclusivity with accessibility. While the offering should feel special, it must remain attainable to the target audience. Pricing should reflect value while considering affordability, encouraging a commitment without causing financial strain. Tiered memberships allow options, giving members the ability to choose levels of access or benefits according to their needs. This flexibility increases the likelihood of initial sign-ups and allows for upselling opportunities as members grow more invested and seek higher levels of engagement or resources. Content planning is a cornerstone of a successful membership. Members expect a steady stream of fresh material that supports their goals or enhances their experience. Plan content in advance to maintain consistency, whether it's tutorials, templates, expert interviews, or interactive challenges. Variety ensures that members remain engaged, while predictability provides structure. Delivering high-quality, actionable resources reinforces trust and demonstrates that the membership is a reliable investment. Consistency combined with substance creates a sense of ongoing progression, keeping members motivated and connected. Marketing a membership requires clear communication of benefits and outcomes. Prospective members need to understand exactly what problems the membership solves, what value they receive, and how it will improve their lives. Testimonials, case studies, or sample resources can demonstrate the impact and encourage sign-ups. Highlighting recurring benefits differentiates memberships from one-off purchases, emphasizing that sustained engagement produces results over time. Clarity and transparency in marketing attract the right audience while setting expectations for long-term participation. Scaling memberships involves both expanding offerings and refining processes. As the membership grows, introduce new features, additional content, or specialized tiers to accommodate varying member needs. Scaling also requires refining administrative and delivery systems to handle increased demand efficiently. Automation, analytics, and feedback loops become increasingly important, ensuring that the membership maintains quality while reaching more people. A scalable structure allows recurring revenue to grow organically, converting initial effort into long-term compounding benefits. Financial management within a membership model is another crucial element. Predictable cash flow allows for reinvestment into improving resources, marketing, and community support. By tracking metrics such as retention rates, member engagement, and revenue per member, it becomes possible to make data-driven decisions that enhance value and efficiency. Profits from the membership can also be reinvested into growth initiatives, compounding the impact over time. A well-managed membership becomes a self-sustaining ecosystem where resources, revenue, and community continually reinforce one another. Developing memberships with recurring revenue requires a mindset shift from transactional thinking to relational thinking. The focus is on creating ongoing experiences and benefits rather than one-off sales. This approach rewards patience, consistency, and dedication to delivering meaningful value. Each interaction with members strengthens trust, loyalty, and engagement, creating a compounding effect that amplifies revenue, impact, and influence. Memberships are not just products. They are living systems that grow stronger as they nurture the needs, goals, and aspirations of the people they serve. Ultimately, a successful membership converts one-time engagement into sustained, predictable growth. By providing continuous value, fostering community, maintaining consistent content delivery, automating systems, and focusing on retention, recurring revenue becomes a reliable foundation. Members feel supported, connected, and empowered, while the creator benefits from stability, scalability, and the ability to invest in further growth. Over time, memberships generate not only income but influence, trust, and long-term relationships, demonstrating that a well-structured, valuable offering can produce results that far exceed the effort invested initially. Number 8. License your work for royalties. Licensing your work for royalties is a strategy that transforms creative output into a continuous stream of income. The principle is simple: Create something of value once and allow others to use it in exchange for ongoing payments. This approach is powerful because it decouples income from direct labor. Instead of trading hours for money, you leverage intellectual property, designs, processes, or other original work to generate earnings repeatedly. Licensing creates a framework where your creations continue to earn long after the initial effort, providing both financial freedom and opportunities for scalable growth. The first step is identifying assets that can be licensed. These may include written content, software, artwork, music, photography, educational materials, or even business processes. Any work that holds value for others and cannot be easily replicated can potentially be monetized through licensing. The key is recognizing what others would be willing to pay to use. This requires both creativity and an understanding of the market's needs. The more unique and useful your work is, the more attractive it becomes for licensing agreements, increasing the likelihood of long-term royalties. Next, establish clear terms for licensing. Defining usage rights, duration, territory, and compensation structures protects both your interests and those of the licensee. Detailed agreements reduce misunderstandings and provide legal clarity, ensuring that the arrangement benefits all parties. Royalties can be structured in various ways, such as a percentage of revenue, a flat recurring fee, or a combination of upfront payment and ongoing earnings. The structure should reflect the value of your work, the potential revenue it can generate, and the level of exclusivity offered. Well-defined licensing agreements create a predictable, sustainable income model that functions independently of continuous effort. Marketing your licensed work is essential to attract potential licensees. Visibility plays a crucial role in connecting with individuals or companies that can benefit from your creations. Showcase the value and potential applications of your work through targeted channels, professional portfolios, or industry networks. Demonstrating how your work can solve problems, save time, or enhance outcomes makes it more appealing. Licensing becomes a partnership where both parties gain, and effective marketing clarifies the benefits and potential returns, making negotiations smoother and more productive. Protecting intellectual property is a critical component of licensing. Legal safeguards ensure that your work cannot be used without proper compensation or acknowledgement. Depending on the type of work, this might involve copyrights, trademarks, patents, or licensing contracts. Protecting your work preserves its value and ensures the royalties continue without disputes. A proactive approach to intellectual property allows focus on creation and growth, knowing that your assets are secured and that others are incentivized to respect the licensing agreement. Scaling licensed work amplifies its impact and revenue potential. Once a licensing framework is established, the same work can be licensed to multiple parties, creating multiple streams of royalties from a single asset. This scalability is unique because it multiplies income without multiplying labor. Each additional license contributes to a compounding effect, generating more revenue from the same original creation. The more licenses issued strategically, the larger the income base becomes, all while maintaining control over quality and usage. Licensing also allows leveraging expertise indirectly. For example, a course, software tool, or framework developed through your knowledge can be applied by others, providing them value while producing ongoing income for you. Your expertise becomes a product that generates returns continuously, freeing time for new projects or creative pursuits. This creates a feedback loop. The more work you license effectively, the more resources are available to create additional valuable assets, further expanding the royalty potential. Building relationships with licensees is essential. Successful licensing depends on trust, communication, and mutual benefit. Maintain clear communication regarding usage, updates, and potential enhancements. provide guidance and support when necessary to ensure the work is applied effectively. Satisfied licensees are more likely to renew agreements, expand usage, and recommend your work to others. The relational aspect of licensing reinforces stability and encourages long-term collaboration, transforming a one-time transaction into ongoing partnerships. Tracking royalties is a practical necessity. Implement systems to monitor payments, usage, and adherence to agreements. Accurate tracking ensures timely income and identifies opportunities for optimization or expansion. Data on which assets perform best, which markets are most receptive, and which licensees are most engaged, informs strategic decisions. This monitoring allows proactive adjustments to maximize revenue while maintaining compliance and quality standards, ensuring the licensing system operates efficiently without constant manual oversight. Innovation and adaptation strengthen licensing opportunities. Continuously improve or update licensed assets to maintain relevance and increase value. For instance, software updates, educational curriculum enhancements, or creative content revisions enhance the utility of the work and justify ongoing royalties. By anticipating market trends and evolving needs, licensed assets remain attractive, increasing the potential for renewal, expansion, or higher fees. Licensing becomes a living system that grows and adapts, producing continuous benefits over time. Licensing also offers the advantage of geographic and market expansion. Your work can reach audiences and industries you may not have direct access to, multiplying its impact without additional personal effort. Licenses act as channels to new markets, allowing your creations to generate income across regions, demographics, or niches. Each new market represents an additional opportunity for royalties, effectively turning your work into a scalable, globally relevant asset. This strategic expansion transforms a single creation into a diversified income-generating engine. Practical steps include identifying licensable assets, securing intellectual property, defining agreements, marketing to potential licensees, tracking usage, and maintaining relationships. Begin with one asset and refine the process before scaling to multiple works. Test different licensing structures, gather feedback, and adjust terms to optimize both value and revenue. Each licensed asset becomes part of a portfolio that compounds over time, producing reliable long-term income while freeing the creator to focus on further innovation. The mindset for licensing revolves around long-term vision and leverage. Income is earned not by trading hours for dollars, but by creating value once and allowing it to multiply through others' use. Discipline, foresight, and strategic thinking guide decisions about what to license, to whom, and under what terms. This approach rewards patience and careful planning as initial effort continues to yield returns over years. By viewing work as a renewable asset rather than a one-time product, creators build a sustainable system that grows independently while maintaining control and maximizing impact. Licensing your work for royalties exemplifies the principle of creating income that works for you. It transforms intellectual, creative, or technical output into recurring revenue streams that compound over time. Each decision about protection, marketing, agreement terms, and relationship building contributes to a self-sustaining system where your work continues to generate value and income without constant direct involvement. The combination of creativity, strategy, and discipline produces financial freedom, scalability, and the opportunity to reinvest in new projects. Licensing transforms effort into a perpetual engine of growth, providing both stability and opportunity for continued expansion, ensuring that your work truly pays you forever. Number 9. Repurpose creations for multiple platforms. Repurposing creations for multiple platforms is a strategy that maximizes the value of every effort you put into creating content, products, or intellectual property. Rather than producing entirely new material for each audience, repurposing allows the same core idea to reach different people in different formats, multiplying impact while saving time and resources. The process begins with recognizing the inherent flexibility of your creations. A single concept, once developed thoughtfully, can be transformed to serve multiple purposes and engage audiences with diverse preferences, extending reach and influence far beyond the initial output. Start by analyzing the content you already have. This could include blog posts, videos, podcasts, graphics, tutorials, guides, or other forms of creation. Each piece contains elements that can be adapted for other platforms. For example, a long-form article can be turned into a series of social media posts, a video summary, or a downloadable guide. Video content can be clipped into short snippets for social media, transcribed into written posts, or converted into audio for podcasts. By breaking down the material into smaller modular components, it becomes easier to reformat and distribute across different channels, while preserving the original message. Understanding the audience for each platform is essential. Different platforms attract different types of users, and content should be tailored to match the preferences, behavior, and consumption patterns of those audiences. A LinkedIn audience may value professional insights presented in a structured, concise manner, whereas Instagram users may respond better to visually appealing, quick-to-digest content. Adapting your creations for platform-specific needs ensures that the same core idea resonates effectively, increasing engagement and the likelihood of conversions or interactions. Repurposing also reinforces your authority and reach. When the same concept appears across multiple channels, it strengthens recognition and credibility. Audiences encountering your message in different formats and places perceive it as consistent and authoritative. This repeated exposure builds familiarity and trust, which are critical drivers of influence and engagement. The more visible and accessible your ideas are, the more likely they are to attract attention, inspire action, and drive results. Whether the goal is sales, followers, or brand loyalty, efficiency and strategic planning are key when repurposing content. Instead of viewing each platform as a separate creation effort, treat your original work as a master resource. Plan how to segment, adapt, and distribute it to meet the unique demands of each outlet. This approach reduces redundancy, conserves energy, and ensures that every creation has maximum return on investment. Mapping out a content lifecycle for your creations provides a roadmap for consistent output, allowing ideas to flow seamlessly across channels without requiring constant reinvention. Creativity in repurposing extends the lifespan of your work. Material that may have performed well once can find new life in another format or on a different platform. For example, a webinar could be repurposed into a video series, summarized into a blog post, and later transformed into a downloadable checklist. By reimagining the same core content in multiple ways, the reach and utility of your original effort multiply, creating layers of value that compound over time. This process transforms a single creation into an ecosystem of outputs that continue to attract attention and generate results. Repurposing also enhances accessibility. Different individuals have different preferences for consuming information. Some prefer reading, others listening, and still others engaging visually or interactively. By adapting creations for multiple formats, you make your work accessible to a broader audience, increasing engagement and impact. Accessibility is not only about convenience, it demonstrates consideration for your audience, making them more likely to trust, follow, and invest in your offerings. Expanding reach in this way turns a single creation into a versatile, audience-focused resource. Monetization opportunities expand significantly through repurposing. Every new format or platform offers potential revenue stream. For instance, a course developed for a paid platform can also provide content for free social media snippets that attract leads or be compiled into a book, guide, or premium resource. Licensing, affiliate partnerships, or ad revenue can be incorporated as additional avenues, transforming one creation into multiple sources of income. Strategic repurposing turns content into a multifaceted asset, producing returns that go far beyond the initial investment of time or effort. Consistency in messaging is critical during repurposing. While the format may change, the core message should remain clear and coherent. Each adaptation should reinforce the same values, insights, and promises, creating a cohesive identity that strengthens your brand and influence. Discrepancies or diluted messaging can confuse audiences and reduce impact. Ensuring alignment across all formats maintains credibility and reinforces the authority of your content, encouraging engagement and trust from every audience that encounters it. Tracking performance across platforms is an essential component of effective repurposing. Monitor engagement, reach, conversions, and feedback to identify which formats resonate most with different audiences. This data informs future decisions about where to focus efforts, which formats to prioritize, and how to refine messaging. By understanding how your content performs in each context, you can optimize the repurposing process, increasing both efficiency and effectiveness. Continuous evaluation ensures that adaptations remain impactful, relevant, and aligned with audience needs. Repurposing fosters creativity and continuous improvement. Each adaptation offers insights into what works and what doesn't, revealing opportunities for refining not only the presentation but also the substance of your creations. Feedback from different platforms may highlight gaps, suggest enhancements, or inspire entirely new directions. The iterative process strengthens both the original content and its derivatives, allowing your creations to evolve dynamically while retaining their core value. This constant refinement amplifies the impact and longevity of your work. Collaboration can further enhance repurposing. Partnering with other creators, experts, or platforms can extend reach, provide credibility, and open new audiences. Joint efforts allow content to be reimagined in ways that may not have been possible independently, producing additional exposure and potential revenue. Collaborative adaptation multiplies opportunities for growth, creating synergies that enhance both visibility and influence. Leveraging the networks and expertise of others ensures that repurposed creations reach their maximum potential. The mindset for repurposing focuses on leverage and efficiency. Every creation is treated as a strategic asset capable of generating multiple outputs and results. This approach reduces wasted effort, maximizes return on investment, and fosters long-term thinking. Creators who adopt this mindset see value not just in individual pieces, but in the ecosystem of outputs those pieces can produce. By systematically transforming work across formats and channels, each creation contributes exponentially to reach, influence, and financial growth. Ultimately, repurposing creations for multiple platforms turns a single effort into a self-reinforcing engine of impact. By adapting content to different formats, tailoring it to diverse audiences, ensuring accessibility, and tracking performance, creators can maximize reach, engagement, and revenue. The approach combines creativity, strategy, and discipline to produce lasting results, ensuring that every creation works harder, lasts longer, and continues to attract attention and value across time and space. This method transforms work into a versatile, enduring, and scalable asset capable of sustaining influence and income indefinitely. Number 10. Grow audience through consistent value. Growing an audience through consistent value is one of the most powerful strategies for long-term success. The foundation of this approach lies in the understanding that influence and trust are earned, not bought. People are drawn to individuals, brands, or creators who reliably provide insight, guidance, solutions, or entertainment that enhances their lives in some meaningful way. Consistency is not just about frequency, it is about reliability and predictability in the quality and relevance of what is offered. When an audience knows they can depend on receiving valuable content regularly, engagement increases, loyalty strengthens, and growth becomes a natural byproduct. The first step is understanding your audience at a deep level. Identifying their desires, challenges, and interests provides clarity on what constitutes value for them. Content, products, or services that solve real problems, answer pressing questions, or inspire meaningful action are perceived as highly valuable. A detailed understanding of your audience allows creation of material that resonates directly, rather than scattering efforts in a way that may reach many but impact few. The closer you align your offerings with the actual needs of your audience, the stronger the connection becomes, creating a fertile environment for growth. Delivering value consistently requires a systemized approach. Regular planning and structured content creation ensure that every piece released contributes purposefully to your audience's growth, education, or enjoyment. Sporadic or inconsistent outputs erode trust and make it difficult to build momentum. A planned approach might include daily tips, weekly articles, monthly webinars, or other predictable schedules that the audience can anticipate. Over time, this rhythm establishes your presence as a dependable source of guidance, making audiences more likely to return, engage, and share your work with others. High-quality output is essential. Value is not measured solely by the quantity of content, but by the impact it has on the audience. Each interaction should leave the audience better informed, more capable, or inspired to take meaningful action. When people perceive that they are gaining tangible benefits from engaging with your work, loyalty grows and your influence expands. Prioritizing substance over superficiality or trends ensures that the relationship with your audience remains strong, rooted in trust and genuine appreciation for what you provide. Engagement amplifies the effects of consistent value. Delivering material without interaction can limit its influence. Encouraging feedback, responding to questions, and fostering discussions allows for a two-way exchange, creating deeper connections. Audiences feel seen and understood when their input is acknowledged, which strengthens loyalty and encourages participation. Active engagement also provides insight into evolving needs, allowing the creator to refine future outputs for maximum relevance and impact. This dynamic interaction ensures that value is not static, but responsive to the audience's real-time experiences and interests. Storytelling enhances the perception of value. Sharing real-life examples, case studies, or personal experiences adds authenticity and relatability to the content. People connect more deeply with material that demonstrates practical application or emotional resonance rather than abstract concepts alone. By illustrating principles with concrete scenarios, audiences understand how to apply insights in their own lives, making the value tangible and actionable. Stories also make content memorable, increasing the likelihood of long-term retention, repeated engagement, and sharing, all of which contribute to organic audience growth. Providing actionable insights reinforces consistent value. Ideas or advice should be immediately usable, allowing the audience to apply lessons without unnecessary friction. Step-by-step guides, checklists, templates, and concrete examples equip the audience with tools to implement what they learn. Actionable value not only strengthens trust, but also produces observable results, which motivates continued engagement. People naturally gravitate towards sources that empower them to achieve outcomes, rather than just providing theory, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of trust, application, and loyalty. Transparency and honesty enhance the credibility of consistent value delivery. Admitting limitations, sharing failures, or acknowledging areas for improvement shows authenticity, which builds trust over time. Audiences are more likely to follow and remain loyal to creators who are genuine and grounded, rather than those who present a polished but unattainable image. Transparency in communication fosters a sense of integrity, which is essential for sustaining long-term engagement and encouraging word-of-mouth growth. Leveraging multiple platforms increases the reach of consistently valuable content. Different audiences consume information in diverse ways, and presenting content across social media, blogs, email newsletters, podcasts, and videos ensures accessibility. Tailoring content for each platform while maintaining its core query allows messages to reach more people effectively. Cross-platform visibility not only broadens the audience base, but also reinforces familiarity, as repeated exposure across formats strengthens recognition and trust. The audience begins to see your presence as reliable and omnipresent, which accelerates growth. Consistency also builds cumulative authority. Over time, repeated delivery of meaningful content positions the creator as an expert or thought leader within their niche. Authority naturally attracts new followers, as people tend to trust and engage with sources recognized for their knowledge and reliability. Each new piece of valuable content contributes incrementally to the perception of expertise, creating a snowball effect where reputation grows alongside the audience. Authority, once established, becomes a self-sustaining driver of growth, as recognition draws attention and opportunities naturally. Monitoring performance ensures that the value delivered aligns with audience needs. Analytics, feedback, and engagement metrics reveal what resonates most, allowing creators to refine strategies, improve quality, and focus on high-impact topics. Continuous evaluation prevents stagnation and ensures that efforts remain effective. By adapting based on real-world data, creators maintain relevance, deepen audience connection, and reinforce the perception of consistent value, further encouraging loyalty and advocacy. Offering exclusive or advanced content to loyal audience members adds depth to the value proposition. Memberships, premium resources, or early access provide additional benefits that reward long-term engagement. These offerings reinforce the audience's perception that following and participating provides tangible advantages, increasing retention and encouraging organic expansion. Providing differentiated experiences based on engagement levels cultivates a sense of appreciation and belonging, strengthening the bond between creator and audience. Patience and persistence are critical. Audience growth does not happen overnight, but consistent value lays the groundwork for steady, compounding results. Every interaction, post, or resource contributes to building credibility, trust, and influence. Over time, the compounded effect of reliable, high-quality contributions attracts attention naturally, encouraging followers to share and recommend your work. Patience ensures that the focus remains on meaningful growth rather than fleeting popularity, creating a sustainable foundation for long-term success. Ultimately, growing an audience through consistent value is a disciplined approach that blends quality, reliability, engagement, and insight. By understanding audience needs, delivering actionable and authentic content, fostering interaction, leveraging multiple platforms, and continuously refining output, creators cultivate loyalty, trust, and authority. Each piece of work contributes to an expanding network of influence, producing growth that is organic, sustainable, and compounding. Consistent value transforms the audience into a community, engagement into trust, and influence into long-term opportunity, ensuring that the effort invested generates lasting impact, recognition, and reward.